So, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning, everyone. So, it's a privilege to take classes in the area of artificial intelligence, and welcome back to this online artificial intelligence classes. We are talking about various inference management system mechanisms for the last almost 2 weeks. So, in this class also, we are going to discuss the most important resolution mechanism by name resolution. A resolution has three steps. The first step is how do you convert the statements into first order logic. The second step is how do you convert this first order logic into clause form. Then we need to apply a procedure where we need to infer whether the statement that was given is true or false. Three steps are there. So in general, if you refer the textbooks, this procedure is called as a resolution with refutation. So I take the negation of what exactly that has to be proved and I try to proceed. So many times in your textbook they will refer it as a resolution with a refutation. Many other names are there, but many times we will use this resolution concept. So I said for the last few classes, three types of inference mechanisms are there. The first mechanism is a basic mechanism where it will infer something from the symbols that we have seen. Two examples for that first version, that is called as NDS and AS, a natural deduction system and axiomatic system. And the second method is you write a statement in English or Telugu or Chinese, whatever language you have. You convert the statement into first order logic and convert that first order logic into clause form. From clause form, you will apply a procedure to validate whether the given inference is true or false. So this is the procedure actually. Resolution has three steps. The first step we have seen in the last two classes, that is on Saturday and yesterday. How do you convert a normal English statements into first order logic? And after converting the statements into first order logic, you need to convert them into clause form. Then you need to apply a procedure to validate whether the inference is right or wrong. This is what it is. So we need to take this resolution very seriously. The reason is resolution is very important in the context of not only in the external exams but also people who wish to uh, pursue their PhD in the area of inference mechanism. So this will have a greater emphasis. So this is what the introduction of the class is.
Nine.
See, please mute yourself if you have. So in this class, we are going to see the second step of resolution. The first step is how do you convert the statements into first order logic. The second step is how do you convert this first order logic into clause form. Clause form is a very simple form where we try to apply something like try to eliminate implication, try to reduce the scope of negation, something like that. So most of the time when you see the textbook, I said resolution will start with refutation. Like you have a query, we will take the negation of the query or negation of the thing that I have to prove, and we will just start going back, creating the trace. So there are three different steps. The first step is how do you convert the statements into first order logic? How do you convert this first order logic into clause form? How do you convert this clause form into set of trees like this? So that finally I need to validate the inference by taking that inference in the negation part. Negation of inference will take. So what is that we do is at the end of the day we will get an empty set like this. So whatever we have taken is wrong, whatever our assumption is wrong. So negation of inference is inference, inference is true, something like that. This is what a standard methodology in the terms of theorem proving it is actually. So 3 steps are there. Many times this question will be asked for 16 marks. They will ask you the procedure of resolution. They will also many times give you the example to prove what are the steps in this resolution. So obviously this class has emphasis both in the terms of external exam, also in the terms of how do you get understand the concept and implement this in the terms of how do you get a software job pertaining to the inference mechanism system is concerned. So we have seen all these things, so there is no need that we have to discuss again. All these are type 1 inference mechanisms. All these are type 1. This is type 1 inference mechanism. Type 2 is resolution. Type 3 is a different system where we try to understand the meaning of the sentence. We try to understand the meaning of the sentence. We try to understand the meaning of the sentence with respect to the context. We try to understand the meaning of the sentence based on the earlier sentence and after the sentence. So predecessor and successor. So based on that, we have a system. That system will be called as type 3. So same example that we have seen. I have taken the same example, but I have changed a question. So yesterday we were talking about all these statements, like Marcus was a man, Marcus was a Pompeian, all Pompeians are Romans, Caesar was a ruler, all Romans were either loyal to Caesar or hated him, everyone is loyal to someone, people only try to assassinate rulers they are not loyal to. So Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. I have asked yesterday 3 questions, and this question I have taken so that you will understand the resolution concept more precisely. That is the reason I have changed the question. What can be the answer for this question? Is Marcus hate Caesar? Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. It was very clear that all Romans are either loyal or hated him. So people only try to assassinate rulers they are not loyal to. So Marcus tried to assassinate ruler. The meaning is he didn't like the ruler. So that is what your inference. So when your inference is hate of, because we have something called as a verb here, we call it as, just a minute, I will take this part. If I have something called as hate of Marcus comma Caesar is what my inference is. So when you say that Marcus hates Caesar, in general resolution takes this negation of the statement and try to infer. By the end of the day, if you have open braces like this, which means whatever inference that we take is wrong. So obviously Marcus hates Caesar will become true at some point of time. So so 3 steps I said. The first step is how do you convert these statements into first order logic. The second step is how do you convert this first order logic into class form. Class form is a simple form where if I wish to apply this resolution algorithm, I need some format. That format is called as class form. Just we will see what exactly is the class form, and we will get back to this particular problem again. So what does your class form says is, whenever you have something called as implication, you have to remove that implication. So whenever you have something called as P to Q, you can remove this. Most of the people know this. We can have negation of P or Q. This is how you can just remove this. But you need to understand this. The first step says you should not have any implication while you are performing mechanism. No implication must be there. So whenever there is an implication, you can just have it like this. So whenever implication is there, we will do this part. This is what you know already. So the second rule is you try to reduce the scope of not. So whenever you have something like this, whenever you have something like you just try to reduce the scope, like you can apply this and you will get a negation of P and negation of Q. These rules are very important because if you see the old external question papers that people are giving, they are more specific about what are the rules to convert this first order logic into a class form. The 8 rules are there. All these are not rules, they are protocols actually. All these are nomenclature actually. So obviously many times this question is also getting asked in your external exams. Just you have to remember, you should not have any implication. Try to reduce the scope of the contradiction or not, whatever it may be, and we just try to have you try to standardize the variables. So what is it you can understand is once you take in a small example, all these things are very clear. It's very simple, like whenever you say for all x, and if I say p of x, I have something like yesterday we are talking about x is Pumpian. For all x, this x can also be Roman. If I say, what does it says is standardize the variables. Whenever you have for all, once you represent x, don't represent x again. So what is the standardization means is if you use x in the first statement, don't use x here, you try to use a y here and represent this by some other variable. Standardize the variables, you just use a different variable for different type of statements. It's very simple, but this is a procedure that you have to remember. So you can apply the standardization like this. See, whatever symbol that I have written here is for all. So move all the quantifiers to LHS. This looks like a story, but this procedure many times you can see your old question papers. They are asking this question. Move all quantifiers to the LHS part. See, two quantifiers are there here. It is better you move all of them to the LHS, because all the quantifiers at some point of time they will be removed, substituting the values. For all x, for all y, you can write p of x and r of y. This is just a protocol. All these all these 8 rules that I am writing are protocols. But many times they will ask you what is the procedure to convert first order logic into class form. So then first order logic into class form. So all these are very important. I have the slides that are prepared. You can see the rules again if you don't understand here. So it is better to move all the quantifiers to the LHS. The reason at some point of time, whether you have a universal quantifier or existential quantifier, you just try to remove them afterwards. So that is the reason we are just moving from one place to other place. Eliminate existential quantifiers. So yesterday we have written something like everyone is loyal to someone. Everyone is loyal to someone, where I have used existential quantifier and as well as I have used universal quantifier also. So what is that the rule that says is eliminate the existential quantifier by using a specific person, like see, everyone is loyal to someone, everyone is loyal to a ruler. If I say, the obviously whatever ruler that was mentioned in the earlier discussion is only Caesar. So obviously you replace, see, if I say existential of x some a Roman of x, if this is a statement. Remove this existential quantifier and write x1 itself. X1 is a specific instance, so there is no need that you have to write this part. Anyway, all these universal quantifiers will be also removed at some point of time. The next rule is the same. Next rule is remove the existential quantifiers. Remove the universal, because existential quantifier I have written universal. This is what the sixth rule is, because there is no need that you need to keep all these universal quantifiers for proving something, because x can be somebody. You can replace the x value with Marcus or somebody who is living in that a place. So then what is that to do is you express something in the terms of conjunction. See, I have something like this. I have A or B and C. If you have something like this, what is the better thing you can do is you can have something like this. You can have it is better like this. Just I'll just change this part. I'm just finding this. Okay. You have something like this, better if you can keep this like this. The reason I will just tell you. If seventh rule is simple, most of the people will understand because we have done this logic work when you are solving the problems. So this is called as expressing something in the terms of conjunction of disjuncts. So whenever this type of big expression is there, it is better to have this, because whenever two expressions or two statements are combined with and, you can take them as a separate entities. The eighth rule says that. Eighth rule says separate the clauses in 7. The meaning is you can take this as a separate statement. This is a separate statement. This is a separate statement, because whenever two statements are combined with and, we can take them as a separate classes. All these rules that I have typed are very easy. That same rules will be there in the slides also. We will see that. So you should not use the implication. Whenever implication is there, you can use this rule to remove that implication part. You need to reduce the scope of contradiction or not operator by using this. You can expand them and do that. So if I use a variable, standardize the variables means you cannot use the same variable for all the instances. So better to go for other variable. Moving all the quantifiers to LHS is needed. Reason is all the quantifier at some point of time will be removed. So eliminate the existential quantifier, eliminate your universal quantifiers, express something in the terms of a combination of disjunctions, so that this can be taken as a separate statement itself. So we will see the rules in detail by using this PowerPoint now. So this is what we have done yesterday. I have written all the statements, like Marcus was a man. I have written this FOL for all the statements. So I have changed the question, like Marcus hates Caesar or not, so that the analysis for resolution will be very good by using this particular question. So that is the reason I have stated. So this is what the first rule is. If you wish to convert the first order logic into class form, you need to eliminate the implication part. So all Pompeians were Romans. That's what yesterday we have done. Yesterday we have written this statement for all this. So what is that we can do at this moment is you can remove this by using for all x will be there at some point of time. In the next steps, this for all x will be removed. For all x negation of this is what the first rule is. Most of the people, this is implicit understanding. So obviously everyone can understand this part. So if you wish to apply a resolution algorithm, we need to apply this all 8 rules. This is what the story is. So eliminate the implication. This is what the first rule is. Then you need to reduce the scope of contradiction or not. This is what it is. Whenever this type of things are there, you need to reduce the scope of the symbols by using because and I need to just copy, but that is the reason I'm writing this and. So every time when you have a not operator that is applied on a big expression in the terms of, I am talking in the terms of statements, you need to reduce the scope of the negation. It's a very important rule that we will do automatically actually, these rules. All these 8 steps, if we don't, even though these 8 steps, even though it is not introduced also, we will follow the same procedure. But many times they will ask what is the class form, how do you convert this first order logic into class form, they will ask. That is the reason I'm just slowly I'm just repeating all the things. So standardize the variables, like whenever you have a statement like this, evil and greedy and king, they are talking about this, better to take different variables when you have an expression like this. This is what they say is if you take x here, try to have a y here, try to have a z here. So obviously, whenever this will be helpful when you apply this knowledge after some time, because all these x values, y values, and z values will be changed. And finally, you will be talking about some people. Some people can be the king, and the person who is greedy, or person who is doing this evil. So obviously, this x will have some value at some point of time. Y will have some point of time. So whenever you talk about evil, you try to have a standard variable. Whenever people try to talk about greedy people, you try to use it a symbol called as y. Whenever people talks about kings, explicitly or implicitly, many times we lose a single king. The name of the king many times in the examples is Caesar. So obviously this z will take some point, some value called as Caesar at some point of time. But this is what the standardization of variables means. This is very important. This the first rule is important. Second rule is also equally important. The third rule is very simple. Even there is no rule like this, also will do the same thing, because every time whenever you are applying the knowledge, you will be applying the knowledge specifically to some person. So greedy person, some value should be there, whether it is a Tom or a Rama or something like that. So this is a very simple thing, like eliminate, just will be see, there is a rule for move all the quantifiers to the left. This is a standard rule, and some textbook says move all the quantifiers to LHS. That's what they say. So what is that you do is, we have many quantifiers here. You have all the quantifiers at the same place. The reason is every time we will remove these quantifiers. There is no reason whether it is a universal quantifier or existential quantifier. There is no need that you have to keep them, because all these values will be substituted at some point of time. But these rules are very important, and these rules you have to remember for your final exams. Remove all these quantifiers, or move all the quantifiers to the LHS. This is what the rule says. And these rules, particularly since it was given in our textbook, you are discussing, but the rules, whatever the procedure that we adopt will be automatic actually. So even the rules implicitly, if the rules are not there, also will follow the same procedure actually. So obviously, these rules will not have a big significance in getting the output. So you need to move all the quantifiers to the LHS, or to the left of your equation, so that all this part will be removed at some point of time. This is Z. The rules are very important. These 8 rules are very important. Okay. So eliminate all the existential quantifiers. If you have an existential quantifier, you remove this existential quantifier and try to have some value for that existential quantifier. If you have something like this, what is that we can do is we just try to remove this part. This can be removed, and you can take a specific name, evil of some person, that is instance is x1, and we said this for all has to be in the LHS, so we can keep this LHS here. So even there is no rule also, we will do when you apply resolution mechanism, we will do that, because whenever people talk about a ruler, see, somebody is hating somebody. Who is that somebody? Is the ruler. The ruler is nothing but Caesar. So obviously the existential quantifier elimination will be easy. Instead of this existential quantifier, you replace the existential quantified by name itself, for name at that moment. So drop the universal prefix means indirectly what they're doing is just eliminate universal quantifier. There is no need that you have to keep the universal quantifier at any time. So obviously what can be the output is just I will just paste this part. If this is the input, the output is very simple. You can eliminate this all existential and quantifier. All the quantifiers can be eliminated, because y value at some point of time you will substitute while you are applying this resolution mechanism. So 5 and 6 are same. 5 is dropping existential quantifier, 6 is dropping universal quantifier. 7 is very simple, that we have seen. We will go to the 7th part. It is better to try in the terms of how do you convert conjunction of disjuncts. This is what we have seen. So whenever this type of thing was there, it is better like to go like this. The reason is this, both of them can be taken as I forgot that one, so I will write B here, as separate classes. It is better if there is a chance you convert this in the terms of conjunction of disjuncts. So obviously what is that we do in the next one is, this is a statement and this is a statement. Just I am just trying to copy this part. Last one is this: create a separate class corresponding to each conjunct. The meaning is, since we got this, so this is a statement now, because it is combined with and. This can be a statement. In a class, particularly when I am using a chalkboard or something, it will take only just 5 or 10 minutes to explain this concept. But since we are doing it online, it is taking more time. So this is what it is. Create a separate class corresponding to each conjunct. Two conjuncts are there here, so these two are the separate classes for each conjunct. So this can be taken as a statement, and you can apply this in resolution. So all this part, whatever we are doing for the last 20 to 30 minutes, is, it looks theoretical, but this is very important. But even though there are no steps like if you don't remember these 8 steps also, while you are applying the resolution algorithm, implicitly we will do all the activities. Whether you consider the steps or not, we will do the procedure in the same way. So eliminate the implication part. So we need to eliminate all these implications, but whenever they say, if you have see, if X is a Pompeian, then he is a Roman, so obviously the rules are applied here. So the first rule is very simple and very easy also, just you have to eliminate this part, and then you need to reduce the scope of negation. This is a standard rule. Standardize the variables. If you have two statements representing two different things, see here I have a single statement here, Pompeian of X. If X is Pompeian, then he is a Roman. So then you have to use a single variable. But here the greedy of x is different, king of x is different. Two statements are there. That is the reason better to standardize the variables. Three different statements with can be standardized with three different variables if they are not connected. If they are only talking about a single context, then the first statement like evil of x and greedy of x and king of x will work. I'm talking about three different statements, then three different variables. So here x is a Pompeian, then x is a Roman. That is the reason we can use only single variables. So standardization of variables in the terms of number of statements. So move all the quantifiers to the left. The reason is we just try to remove all these quantifiers at some point of time, whether it is a universal quantifier or existential quantifier. Just it is try to, for removing this, we will do this procedure. So replace the existential quantifiers by using the specific value here. I can take some Caesar or some other entity here and just try to remove this part. And then we can remove this for all also. All the universal prefixes can be eliminated or dropped. Among all the particular rules that we have studied, if there is a chance, this rule is very important. If there is a chance, we can apply this rule, and this rule is very important. So convert to conjunction of disjuncts, and the same rule like create a separate class corresponding to each conjunct which was coming from your seventh statement. The seventh statement, if you get, you have to get this part. So this is what the second step of your resolution algorithm is. The first step of resolution algorithm is how do you convert the statements into first order logic. The second statement is how do you convert the first order logic into class forms, and then from this class form how do you apply this resolution algorithm or resolution mechanism. Many times the resolution that we applied is called as resolution with refutation. So we try to just try to write what exactly we have done yesterday. We'll go in a fast. See, yesterday we are talking about Marcus was a man. So I said man is more
Sir,
general.
please provide notes, sir.
Emma, what is that?
Please provide notes, sir.
Notes. Okay, okay. What is that I do is I will try to share the notes today for this unit or for all the units.
For all units.
Okay. See, my intention is if the notes is given to particularly the students in particularly second year, then I feel personally that there is a less chance that you will open your textbook. That's what I feel. That is the reason we have prepared the notes in July or June itself. We have some particular material that is pertaining to the subject in the terms of every concept that we discuss in the class. See, I will share the notes for this first two units today. But my intention is if you read the notes, what will happen is the scope of learning is minimized and it is bounded to that notes itself. So then what will happen is I restrict your way of understanding to that notes, because the notes will have a certain observations and certain understanding, and you cannot go beyond that. That's what I feel. Anyway, that notes I will just share it today or tomorrow. Most probably you can understand the concepts better. But the intention is like you need to prepare your notes from the textbook if you have a chance. So that is my intention. So obviously what you said I will take up and I will just share the notes in your Google Classroom or to your emails. But try to read the textbook and try to attend the classes regularly. I am just trying to analyze your attendance, and most of the people or some of the people are joining in between. It's very difficult for people who join in between to understand. That is the reason we are going slowly and just repeating this part. as many times I have a chance. So this is what we have seen yesterday. So more general entity, more specific entity can be taken. Many times we take the verb also. Marcus was a Pompeian, so Pompeian is a more general and Marcus is specific. So all Pompeians were Romans. So if you have something like this, if you are Pompeian, the meaning is you are a Roman. This is what we have seen for the last two classes. Yesterday also we have done the same problem. Today also just trying to do it faster. But after some point of time you need to convert this implication as per the discussion that we have done today. So Caesar was a ruler. So we represent this in the terms of ruler of Caesar. So this is where I have said this. This question is very important. This statement is very important. If X is a Roman, Romans are either loyal. X is loyal to Caesar, or hate X hated this Caesar. This is what we have discussed for the last two classes. That is the reason I am going just faster. So everyone is loyal to someone. So I have to take two variables here which represents everyone and which represents someone. But intentionally this loyal will have two parameters. Everyone is loyal to someone. So y is an existential quantifier and x is a universal quantifier. So people only try to assassinate rulers they are not loyal to. So people of x, I will write because a ruler of x and assassinate. People try to assassinate rulers. Rulers means I need to take a different variable here. People try to assassinate the rulers they are not loyal to. So I need loyal of x comma y. This is what we have discussed for the last two classes. That is the reason I am going faster. But this statement is very important. Yesterday we have a discussion whether this loyal has to come this side or that side. It depends upon how do you understand the statement. So Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. Assassinate have two parameters here. So here also I have two parameters. I will go with the same function. So I will go with the same function because assassinate was used here. So I will use the same function here also with a different. Did Marcus hate Caesar? This is what the question is. So hate of Marcus and Caesar. But you need to understand where hate is there. Does that hate is having two? Hate is there. Hate is having two parameters. So obviously these two parameters what I have taken is right. This is what we have done yesterday. Can somebody tell me what is the next step that I have to do? This is what we have done yesterday and we have discussed something today. How do you connect this yesterday class and today class? What is the next step of resolution? What is that we have to do? See, what are the steps of resolution? Can somebody just tell me what are the steps of resolution? Can somebody just tell me what are the different steps? What are the different steps that you need to adopt for a resolution algorithm or resolution mechanism? See, the first step is you convert the statements into first order logic. This is what we have done. All these statements are converted into first order logic. The second step is you need to convert this first order logic
Into class form.
yes into class form. This is what we have seen today. What are the rules which will help you to convert this first order logic into class form? See, these rules we didn't apply. This is what we have to apply. Eliminate this implication, reduce the scope, remove standardize the variables. All this you keep it in LHS. Remove the existential and universal quantifiers. If there is a chance you express in the terms of disjunctions, the reason is you can take them as a separate sentences. This is what we have to do. So what is that we have to do is we have to convert this first order logic into class form. Then you need to apply the resolution algorithm to the statements in the class form. This is what these two steps you have to do. So if you wish to apply that two steps here, see, this statement is class form. This is a class form because there is no quantifier here, there is no existential quantifier. This is simple atomic statement. This is an atomic statement. This is in a class form. And does this statement is in a class form? Is this statement is in a class form? See, in class form, yes, you should not have this implication. You have to remove this. And if you apply all the steps, this also should be eliminated. So here this is in a class form. So this is not in a class form because you have something called as implication here. This is in a class form if you remove this two. This is not in a class form. The reason is implication is there. This is in a class form. This is in a class form. So what is that you have to do is you have to convert the statements which are not there in the class form into class form. Then there is a procedure. How do you apply the resolution that we have to see? This is what the class emphasis is. So what is that I do today is, as far as your request is concerned, what is that I do is I will share the notes. Read the notes. You can understand the concepts very well. But my sincere request is, don't read the notes and get your scope restricted only to the notes. Better to read the textbook, because textbook reading is important in the terms of how do you understand the subject in a different dimension. Because whatever classes I am taking is my perception and my understanding of AI. Your understanding may be better than most of the faculty members that we take class. So your reading the textbook is very important. That is the reason we have deferred sharing the notes till the students have asked. So since you have asked, I will share the notes most probably today or tomorrow. So I will just know about what